Hello, this is my weekly reflection journal about what I did at my internship this week. So, to begin the week, on Tuesday, we had our weekly meeting that we get briefed and trained on a new topic. This week's topic was dealing with Palo Verde nuclear power plant, and in the event of a meltdown, what to do, how far the nuclear fallout would go, and specific measures to take in the event of a fallout. So I learned quite a bit. One, uh, being inside during one of these events is extremely helpful and will actually help save your life from breathing in radioactive material or um, other related um, events. So after Tuesday, what I've been tasked with doing has been updating a manual that we use for having different agencies request resources from the state. So, for example, if there is a natural disaster in a county here in Arizona and they are not able to have the necessary resources to take care of that issue, they have to request it from the state. Well, how do you do that? There's an application called WebEOC that the entire state of Arizona uses, and while using that application, you can request all types of items such as trucks, porta potties, radios, whatever. So once you put a request on the WebEOC, it will be filled by the state, and the state then contacts its different government agencies to see who has those supplies. Um, so in order to do this, all of the counties have to be updated and trained on the WebEOC in order to make sure that all counties know how to do that in the event of an emergency. So I've been working on the manual on how to order all of those supplies. Um, we've been updating the verbiage, images, and overall process to try and streamline it. Um, the last updated version was about 4 years ago, so there's been some major changes to the actual program, so that's why they're um, redoing the manual. So that's what I've been helping with. I mentioned the meetings that I attended, which was a training Tuesday for about 2 hours, discussing Palo Verde, what to do in the event of a nuclear fallout, things that I've learned, maybe skills, knowledge, and behaviors. I've learned quite a bit from the people that I'm surrounded with in the operations division. So some things that I've learned are definitely communication, so how to communicate professionally with other government organizations or here with the Indian reservations as well. They interact a lot with them, so that culture is much different than interacting with a different government agency. So knowing how to interact with everybody is extremely important. Um, Knowledge gained about public service and public policy, something that I've learned um, this week that I thought was particularly interesting was that the reservations that the Indian tribes live on are actually sovereign nations. So they pretty much govern um, their land, their own people, everything like that. Um, their own emergency response is handled by them. Uh, and if there is a situation where they do need additional help, they will ask the state. But usually, the federal government is what helps them. Um, Interestingly enough, so something I learned about public policy. Um, I think that's about it for the week. We're wrapping up the manual, and we will be starting another one immediately after. It's very challenging just because it has to be up to code for government standards. There's very specific things that need to be outlined. How it's all put together needs to be extremely professional and done in a certain way. So that's definitely one of the difficulties. Um, yeah. So thank you for listening to my weekly update. Yeah, see you next week.